Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Man United Agenda. And yes, it is your preview show, Norwich versus Manchester United. Welcome. Yes, everyone, hello and welcome to the Man United Agenda. And yes, it is that time, and Manchester United is back already on Saturday, 5:30 kickoff. And as always, we are here with Mr. B, OMONDI, and Jay. How are we all feeling?
Yeah,
roll on Friday.
Good. Roll on Friday. Oh, day off. You're tired.
Right. And Friday needs to finish. Then I have a day off on Saturday. So roll on and off Friday.
Oh, and on Monday, how is it going for you today?
Yeah, same as Mr. B. I just want the week to be ended, but I've enjoyed football this week, and Man United are keeping me on the up. I'm buzzing.
Oh, great. Jay, how is it? Busy week for you as well? How has it been?
Yeah, man. It's all good though, man. I'm enjoying life under Ralph Ragnick's revolution. You know what I mean? I liked his bold selection against against young boys. I thought, giving all the kids a chance. And you know what? Big up to all the British Asians out there as well. It was fantastic to see Zidane Iqbal getting his debut. I know a few lads that have been waiting for a moment like this, United fans, and they were very emotional and rightly so. It's great to see that massive part of the Manchester United fan base and community represented. And, that's what it's about as well. And Charlie Savage as well getting his debut, and Tom Heaton getting his debut. It was emotional, man. A draw against Young Boys in a dead rubber. Who'd have thought it could be so emotional? I was like, what's going on here? I ended up staying in the ground till like everyone had left almost, just applauding them all off the pitch, man, because it was a good feeling. Do you know what I mean? Regardless of the fact the game was probably the least memorable game ever in terms of the football. But no, it was good. It was good to see that. And I think that Ralph Ragnick started off on a positive note, and long may it continue.
Yes. And guys, if you're watching out there, please hit that like, share and subscribe button. Don't forget, we are giving you the opportunity to win yourself a signed Bruno Fernandes football shirt once we hit the 1K subscribers. So on Monday, I know Mr. B, when he was doing the watch along yesterday, you probably, out of everyone from the Man United Agenda, was probably the most excited regarding this lineup and also the youth academy players on the bench.
I mean, I just have to reiterate what Jay just said. I mean, I've watched Zidane. I thought he's a really talented player, but I've never expected him to be in the first team and get minutes as well. I mean, I've read his little script that he said after the game, how excited he was. And I even said, when I was watching the game, as he was about to come on, he took a big, sucked it all in, He and when I heard this quote as well, I felt for the guy, man. I thought, yeah, go on, man, go on, do your thing. And I just think that's great. I think the whole overall lineup was just perfect. It just brought, it keeps everyone sweet. It's a squad. You have to keep everyone happy. Mata gets a game. He went out there profiling. Donny got to play. Matic was strolling in defense. But most of all, I mean, kids like Alanga, seeing Ahmad come on the pitch and get a lot of minutes as well. And all the other youngsters that came on the pitch. I mean, it's just a blessing. This is what we're all about. That's all about our identity. I wasn't at the stadium. Obviously, Jay was there. We want to hear about the atmosphere there.
We will do as well.
It was a great game. I thought watching the game, I was just so excited. Everyone's saying, oh, we were poor. We gave the ball away. We were this, we were that. It's like boys against men. Do you understand what I'm saying? You can't be expected to sort of boss these games and win them 4 or 5-0. I predicted 4-0, but I didn't know the lineup. But I don't care about that because it's just a great thing. The feeling around the club now everyone must be excited. Everyone's on the page now. And if you're not on the page, you're going to get on the page because one of these youngsters is going to be training extra hard now. Say, well, if it's Dan or Savage's son can get in, I want a piece of this as well because the opportunities are there. The door's open. At some clubs, the door doesn't open for these youth players. Do you understand what I'm saying? But we are representing, and it's funny because Ralph, when he come in, he said he wants to fit with the ethos of the club, and this is the ethos of the club, and he's demonstrating it already. I really love every little move he makes. Everything he says out of his mouth just fills me, makes me sweet, fills me with joy. I'm really happy with Man United at the moment. I can't wait for this journey up until May. It's going to be very exciting.
And on Monday, you just said every move, and I was just going to come into lyrics and say every move you make, every step you take.
Let's not go there.
I'll do it.
Yeah, we've all been stung by the bullets. Don't need to be stung again.
Yeah, Mr. B, great watch along yesterday. Got to give you guys big credit yesterday. Literally, I thoroughly enjoyed the watch along yesterday on the channel. And you guys got to see firsthand yesterday the lineup and talk about the team before a lot of people who were watching the game through either on the TV or listening to you guys doing commentating through the channel.
I enjoyed yesterday. I really enjoyed yesterday. On Monday summed it up. I knew a Monday was jigging in these pants. Once I saw the kids, once I saw the bench, I said to Talk, he's done. He must be up here because I know you are feeling it, but there's something I need to ask because there's something that I noticed on the training. Obviously, Jay, you were at the game yesterday. The training, the pre-game warm-up I was looking at on TV is completely different than what Ollie was doing. Am I correct in saying that?
I'll be honest with you, Mr. B. I got into the ground. I did actually get into the ground relatively early. Usually, I'm that guy who's just getting into his seat as the ball kicks off. Do you know what I mean? Asking people what's going down, who's starting, what's going on. I was there a little bit. I didn't notice, to be honest with you. I'll take your word for it. I did notice like they were doing, which they kind of do anyway. Like just as they come out for the second half, doing the little drills on the touchline. Almost seemed like they delayed the second half. All the young boys players were ready to go, and we were still doing our drills. But I didn't actually see the pre-match film. But now you flagged it up, I'll be checking it out against Norwich. Or when I'm, I think the next home game, especially, is it Brighton? I'll be having a look for that because that's interesting to see those little changes that he's made. Because I know obviously he's been making changes in training, and we've seen some of that effects as well. So that's a good point to make to point out, and one we can all look out for.
Yeah, because I think Mr. B pointed out straight away the different how they were training, the level of sort of how the defense, and it's almost like the pressing, how they're trying to press as well if they lose the ball. And Rangnick came out and he did actually say, I don't know, quote unquote, basically regarding some of the pressing and giving the ball away in certain areas. Obviously, he wasn't that happy, and obviously we should have been a couple of goals up, sort of by the first half. Don't get me wrong, I will never criticize Ahmed. He had a glorious chance of putting something away, but listen, the guy's young. That's his second Champions League game. Can't take much away from him because he performed very well yesterday as well. So,
yeah,
go on. I'm on.
Was it that second Champions League game? I thought it was he played in
Europa League.
So he played in Europe twice, two different competitions.
Thank you.
And scored one.
Yeah, and it was a beautiful goal against AC Milan.
Forgive him. Don't be so harsh.
Forgive him. It was a beautiful goal. So, guys, if you're watching, please hit that like, share, and subscribe button.
Do you know what it was as well? Like, just quickly on that. This. We were talking about this on Paddock, and I just raised it again. I was pleased because this is Ralph Rangnick's potentially his only chance this season to do that. Like, you look at now, you're in the next stage of the Champions League. You likelihood is you have to play your strongest team in that. You could get. We could end up with a PSG or Juve. You ain't playing the kids for that. In the FA Cup, you've got Aston Villa managed by Steven Gerrard. You ain't playing the Rezzies for that one, not unless you want Old Trafford to turn against you. And then the next round of that, you don't know if you get past them, obviously. You don't know what I was going to say. Every Premier League game is vital now. We're in the hunt for top four, and then you want to get a bit further up as well. So you might not get the opportunity like you've got there to play all these kids. Do you know what I mean? Like, so I'm glad he took it. And I was looking at it, and I was worried when it got to 1-1. I was thinking, is he still going to bring on some of these youngsters? Is he still going to give the likes of Iqbal or Savage a chance? And he did. He just sort of went, yeah, let's go for it. Let's give these guys a chance. And I'm pleased with that because it would have been, fairly easy for him yesterday to say, all right, let's play Maguire, let's play Bruno, let's play, Fred, and then let's play, throw in maybe an Elanga or give Diallo 20 minutes, whatever. But he didn't. He proper sort of went for it tackle in terms of giving the fringe players, both the youngsters and some of the senior players who aren't getting many games, like Matt, for example, a chance, and I was really pleased with that because it's turned what would have been a relatively unmemorable game that none of us had much to say about, and that in future years none of us remember or talk about, to something that we could go, hey, that was the game that Iqbal made his debut. That was the one where Savage made his debut. That was the one where Tom Eaton came back in, or whatever, or Mason got yet another goal towards greatness. So he did well, because when people talk about Man United DNA and ethos and all that stuff, we have a million different styles at United, and I think there's never one certain style. The Man United DNA that's gone from Busby to Fergie and hopefully onwards is giving youth a chance. That is what United are about. And already in 2 games in, Rangnick showed that he's fully on board that bus, and I'm all about that. I love it.
Jay, there's a nice comment there for you.
Is this trolling again? Is this trolling?
Jay said Rezzies, as in reserve. I just got it. I just had to think about it. What does Rezzies mean? Oh, reserve players.
Yeah, the Rezzies. Sorry,
the Rezzies.
Can we clip this? Can we clip this?
What's the comment? I'm not getting trolled again, am I?
No,
you're not.
The same guy trolled me for about 45 minutes, and you just left me.
Yeah, I know. We didn't notice. We've got people watching tonight, so it's all right. I was keeping an eye on the comment here, and I was thinking I've missed something, and I was like, all right then, Jay.
He was giving me dogs abuse, and then I looked half an hour later, he's still going. I thought, what's this guy?
Oh, apologies for that. Jesus,
no,
we got Rebel in the house tonight. Rebel is keeping an eye on them, and Talk. So Talk will be keeping an eye in the house. So yesterday we're going in quite a bit about sort of the 7th debutant, Heaton, 36 years old, to get the opportunity to play in the Champions League, and he's a boyhood. He came from the club as well. I was pleased for him as well. Very pleased for him. I don't know how you guys feeling, Mr. B. How are you feeling, Tom Heaton? I know you're 36 years old, but Champions League.
I'll be honest. I think the sub took the piss. I do. I'll be honest. I think the sub took the piss. I know, football's not normally sentimental, but the fact that he got any game time in that game, I big up the manager, because he did a Sven in when they do the England friendlies, where they was just making sub after sub. The young guys, I'm glad they came on, and I'm delighted that the Bledge had no experience on it, which meant me and Talk were talking before the game saying certain players are guaranteed to play, just because obviously we had Mata on the pitch. I didn't know Mata was going to play virtually the whole game. I expected him to do a little bit less, but it was the whole. Right now, there's a glow at the club. There's a feel good factor going through the whole club. All of the fan base seems to be on one level at the moment. I haven't heard anybody disappointed with the Rangnick appointment. I haven't heard anybody disappointed with the system that he's implementing. So right now, we are looking in a really, really good place, and I don't know if I felt like this under Ollie. I think under Ollie, when he came in, it was more, thank God Jose's out, rather than Jesus Christ, we've got a manager, and he's setting up the team now where I'm not fearful of anybody we play. I'm so looking forward to the Champions League draw to see who we get. I'm looking at...
Oh. We lost Mr. V there.
Let's see if we get into the good bit about who was looking forward to the Champions League, man. He was just about to tell us. I was like, is it going to be Juve? Is it going to be PSG? Is it going to be Atletico? Who's he want?
Oh, he's back. He's back.
Here we go, man. You can't believe it was on a cliffhanger like that, Mr. B. Come on, man. Do you know what I mean? This is like when you have to wait a week for the next episode of your favourite show. Do you know what I mean? This is like Game of Thrones all over again.
Oh, he's frozen. He's frozen.
This is ridiculous. I'm going to go out. I'm going to log off.
Look, tell us quick. Don't leave us hanging.
Don't leave us hanging.
What were you going to say?
Who do you want? Who is it?
I want anybody that we could take, that we could give licks. I want us to go.
I waited with bated
What a
breath.
cliffhanger, man.
Talking about a cop out.
I want a big. I'll be honest. I want a big team. I want a team that can show that we've grown. Obviously, I would rather we went through the next round and then got a bigger team. But come on, man. There's teams in here that I don't think we should fear anybody. I don't think we should fear anybody. I don't know if that's me being overexcited now because of what I've seen. I don't want to be that guy, but you look at the players, the whole mentality of that first squad. Forget about the players that played yesterday. I'm talking about that first squad. Their mentality seems completely different. You've got Fred, who nobody is discussing as being a poor player. You've got McTominay, who stepped up his game. Yeah, well, a solo get lost. You've got McTominay, who stepped up his game. You've got fullbacks who we, before the game, now understand where they're going to be going. So as a fan base, we are now seeing so much in a game. We know the formation. We know what he's going to do. And when you see it on the pitch, you think, Jesus, look where Tellez is. Look where Dallo is. You know, this is the biggest change. Those two up there and the balls that they're putting in, they're not swacking it so that it's going out of play that side or that side. It's actually going into the box or causing trouble. So roll on Rangnick and roll on that Champions League draw. Firstly, we have Norwich. So, you know, as the manager say, it's one game at a time. Although Rangnick did say he was going to have freshness for this game. And that's what I like as well. He's not using the cliches. He was already talking about the Norwich game before we had even played the Champions League game. I love that. I love it.
Yeah. Jay, two things I'm going to go on to you about. You said last week, the last show we did, and when I put Fred in that team, you said you wanted to join Crazy. Yeah. And I'm sure, did you join the Crazy gang? Because did Fred score that worldie?
Hang on a minute. It wasn't the Fred inclusion that made me think he was crazy. There was something else on there. You're twisting this now. He's Fred's in the team all the time. There was something else you did. I can't remember what it was.
My team lineup. It's my team lineup.
Going back to the evidence, the video evidence, and reminding you, but it wasn't the Fred thing that made me think he was crazy. I can't remember what you did. It's difficult to keep up with your craziness. But the one thing you've actually done well is you back Fred. Do you know what I mean? You've not waited to his right-footed screamer against Crystal Palace. You was backing him from day. So fair play to you, because you and my dad, funnily enough, are the only two that I know who stuck with him constantly. Like, no matter what I've said, this guy, man, he don't see what he brings to the team. So fair play to you. But no, you know, listen, I give players credit where they deserve credit. And I said to you, I remember last week, actually, this is what I said to you about Fred. I said, during this tough time when Ollie got sacked, the Liverpool game, the City game, the Watford game, I don't think he played. I can't remember. I think he missed the Watford game, didn't he? I said that Fred impressed me in the fact that he was up for it. He didn't let his head drop. He got stuck in. When it all popped off at Old Trafford with Curtis Jones and Van Dijk and everyone kicking off with Ronnie, Fred was one of the few players that went and backed him. So I give him credit for that. And my only issue with Fred is, has he got that quality that you need at times? But he was man of the match against Crystal Palace, I thought. He played very, very well. And obviously, you know, he's buzzing. But what made me laugh about Fred is against Palace, right? He scored that goal. It's the 93rd minute, right? There's still 3 minutes left or whatever. We're up against it. Palace are running with the ball. They're trying to get forward. They're getting corners. Fred stood near the middle of the centre circle with his arms up like this, celebrating the win. I'm like, bro, like, he was that buzzing. I was like, come on, let's get the win before we start celebrating it. What are you doing? Everyone screamed at him, but he did. And then, seriously, he did about 8 laps of honour. But I'm all about that. Seriously, he deserves it, man. I've got no qualms with someone celebrating like that, especially when they put in a performance like that. So no, you deserve credit for that solo. But other than that, you've come out with some madness. But that was right. Sorry, I've already forgotten the second part of your question. What was the second part of your question?
Oh,
you said there was 2 parts.
There was 2 parts, but I've even forgotten it.
See what I mean? You can't
have a look in your cabinet. Have a look in your cabinet.
I'll look in my cabinet. Oh, yeah. Wow. Jay, you know what? Yeah, last week when we did the show, I don't know what it was, but apparently I said, have a look in the cabinet or something like that when you're
That
on the
was
show.
it. In his chat, you said instead of what he's got in his locker.
More in his cabinet.
Locker.
He's got a lot in his cabinet. And everyone does that thing where they just ignore the madness when it's so low. And I'm like, whoa, hold up. Wait a minute. We can't just let that one go. This is like David Moyes all over again. We have to address these things. I will address this nonsense on this channel. Right? You've got responsibilities now. You've got 1,000 subscribers. You can't just be letting this madness go under the radar. We have to address it. And we have to have it clipped up for next week. Rules. I don't make the rules, but we have to abide by them.
Yeah. The problem is, Jay, it has been clipped up. I've been clipped up 3 times this week.
Good. I expect
Too
it
right.
to be. Something's going wrong if it's not.
And we got to say as well, Mr. B, keep smiling. He's been clipped. So is Monday.
Yeah, but what I will say is I'm actually in control of the show tomorrow. So guess what's going to be shown and what's not going to be shown?
Dictatorship.
Oh, brilliant, guys. If you are watching, please hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Remember, we will be giving you the chance to win yourself a Bruno Fernandes football shirt. Before we go into the Norwich versus Manchester United now, we're going to take away some comments. On Monday, would you like to hit some comments? I'm not going to say in the cupboard. There's no cupboard. I'm nothing in the cupboard today. It's in the
cabinet.
In the comments.
He's done it again.
Yeah. No, I'm taking the Mickey. Come on, I'm taking the Mickey there. I'm taking the Mickey there.
All right then. All right, let's go through the
trouble
comments.
when you say that much madness. It's difficult to know when you say you're joking or not, bro. This is the trouble we have.
All right. Oh God, it's all hellos and all this kind of thing. Hold on, let's just be.
Bath Time's got a few things, and Medi's got a few things as well. I saw
Right, so Jay sometimes sounds more mank than usual. I don't know why. Never watched Channel 4, but good luck, gents. Thank you very much.
Thank you, big up.
Sadiq.
And it says, great to see youngsters given a chance, and as Man United fans, to relax and not worry too much about the result. Oh, that's good, yeah. It was a breather considering what's happened this season. Yeah, that's really great comment.
100%.
Great comment. Was he at the game? Were you at the game, Alex? Sounds like you were there. You got a real good feeling there. Just going through. Sorry, I haven't been keeping an eye on these. Has anyone got any good comment? Okay, here we go. And Herbert, Norwich. All right, this is about Norwich. Leading to Norwich says Norwich hasn't been played bad on a new manager, but you guys should win an easy 3-0. So they have been proved. They have stepped up, haven't they? They couldn't buy a win early in the season, but now recently they've got a few good results, haven't they? Going through.
What's he mean? You guys?
He's an Arsenal fan.
He's an Arsenal fan.
He's an Arsenal fan.
Really?
We get a lot of love down here.
Okay.
The youngsters are slow in proving their point, in my opinion.
My condolences to him through this difficult time again.
Here's one about Mendy from Betty. Hi, Betty. How you doing? She says,
Welcome.
be interested to see how Mengi is used going forward. He's a right mess.
I almost forgot Cheddar Mengi. Yeah, man.
What was that name? Solo.
No. Let's leave her alone. Leave her alone.
Sorry.
It's one of these stupid names again. All right, yeah. So Mengi was a good. He had a good performance, didn't he? I think his sort of whole career went before his eyes when he slipped up.
He didn't recover, didn't he?
I need to get up and I need to make this tackle.
What a tackle, though.
And I thought, he showed a lot of character to get up and make that tackle or block or whatever you call it. But yeah, he seems okay.
Yeah, he's a good lad, Cheddar Mengi. I think if he stays fit, keeps his head screwed on, he could have a very, very bright future. He's got a good head on his shoulders. He really has.
Yeah. So, guys, we are going to go on to the. I keep getting feedback. I'll blame Mr. B for the feedback.
Not a chance, mate.
Guys, we are going to go on to the Norwich game now. Norwich, obviously, new manager in. Sustainability a little bit where they've gone through. I think they won one game and drawn one under the new management, Dean Smith.
He won his first game, didn't he?
He won his first game, yes.
Yeah.
What shirt? What is he talking about? That's. I don't know what Talk's talking about. Anyway, ignore Talk. I can't hear Mr. B.
You can't ignore him. He's talking about the Bruno Fernandes shirt.
Oh, we'll get back. Oh, I don't know what he's talking about. Message me privately. So we're going to go into.
We cleared that up nice and smoothly, though, so no one even noticed that one.
I think what he's saying is we will be doing a draw for the Bruno Fernandes football shirt at some point next week, but we just need to get the correct date.
Can anyone enter that?
Anyone can enter it. Anyone who subscribed can enter it. So if you are
even
watching,
people that have subscribed and come on the channel now and again that live in Manchester.
Yes.
Yeah. Of course, yeah.
Yes. Okay. So hold on 1 second. Amanda, would you mind reading one or two questions? I want to do something quickly.
Okay. So here's one from Sadiq. He says, "Like lads, nice positive show. Well done. I'm glad to see a channel that spreading good vibes. Yes, we are too, and that's our aim." Lou United says, "Okay, I don't know what's going on there." God.
Yes, you know what? I wanted to ask you about that on Monday.
Yeah, go ahead.
You bought your boy Eric Bailly. What did you make of him against young boys? I saw
Bailey.
Yeah.
Not good enough, I don't think. I felt like the issue I've got with him, he's always like last-ditch challenges. He doesn't win his headers. I've seen a couple of headers that we had to clear out of the box, ending up going like 5 yards away. Just like he goes like that and doesn't really come through the ball and really clear the ball. And it's really frustrating, I think, sometimes, you know. And I think when you got a defender and the ball's coming to him, he would rather go through a man. He doesn't seem to know how to sort of come through a guy and win the headers. He always ends up making a foul and that kind of thing. But he was the senior. He was a senior centre-back out there. I think he had a lot of support from the goalkeeper. He seemed to be giving it a lot of organisation, organising the defence. But he was a senior guy. Everyone's saying he had got man of the match. But he didn't do anything.
Brilliant yesterday.
I don't think so. He's got clear things. As a defender, defend first. What he does do well, as I mentioned on the show yesterday, when the ball's coming in, he's able to use the momentum of a striker charging him down, drop the shoulder and go one way, send him that way and go the other. He's good at that. And one day it's going to be a mistake. It doesn't fill me with confidence when he plays. But the main thing for me is clear your headers, get the ball out. Don't dilly-dally on it. Just clear the ball, even if you have to crash it, whatever. You got to come through it, bam, get the ball well out of the box, you know. But he's like, bam, or jump in, and it's going up in the air, and people are still having to get the second ball and that kind of thing. So I'm not convinced with Bailey as a defender.
To be honest with you, I'm going to say this, and then I'm going to show the people what they can win. On Monday, football has changed. It's not back in the days like a John Terry and things like that. It's completely changed. Centre-backs are not like centre-backs used to be. Because you're a centre-back and you play that sort of level back in the days. Football's changed out.
This is a long time ago. The difference is now you can't tackle, but you can still head the ball.
You'll be winning. This is what you'll be winning. This is a signed Bruno Fernandes football shirt, and we'll be giving it away. But everyone who's watching the channel now is in a chance to win it. All you got to do is hit that subscribe button. Okay? So, Jay, you can win it as well.
That's good.
Everyone can win it. Apart from Mr. B on a Monday.
Wait, can we just clear something up? Right. Last time we did a draw like this, you won it solo. So that caused a lot of controversy.
What?
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
So anyhow you win again.
And you know the thing as well, Jay. It was
you got to come and supervise, Jay, because we don't want any cheating or any skullduggery going on.
You know how dodgy it's going to look now when I win? When you win, and then I win the next one. Like, we can't have 50% of this show winning the prizes. That's just ridiculous. Oh, you've done me there.
You know what the thing is, though, Jay?
Before I win it.
We actually did the last time we did a raffle for a football shirt. We did the Euro Million, and it was the bonus number that came up wins it, and I won it with the bonus number.
Scandalous. Rigged.
National lottery ain't rigged.
The trick is, right, if you're the presenter on a channel and you're doing a draw, don't enter it.
Yes, exactly.
I want into this one.
We're gonna give away this shirt, and the winner is me. Nice one. Thanks for subscribing. We'll do another one tomorrow.
Oh, brilliant. So, guys, if you are watching and you're new to the channel, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. We will be doing a live draw next week. Hopefully, we will be in the company with Jay. And we'll probably get Jay to we'll set it up so Jay will announce it.
Whoa. Don't get me involved in this absolute mayhem. When I'm pulling out and every name's got solo wrote on it, every piece of paper. There's like 50 solos. I'm like, well, what's this? Solo.
Oh, brilliant.
You're busted now, Solo. What are you going to do now?
I've been caught out. But guys, we're going to go on to the Norwich game now. And Ralph Rangnick did explain whether or not it's not disrespect. I don't believe it's a disrespect. So we had young boys, but he weren't really concentrating on the young boys. He was concentrating more on the Norwich game because he was saying the next game when he was doing his press conference. So Jay, come in, breath of fresh air. Players, especially the young ones now, they're going to be all feeling cloud nine, thinking they've got opportunity now to prove themselves and demonstrate they can get in the first team. So is this now where the senior players at the club need to step up now and show what their worths are? Because your Ahmad, he wants to get in the team. You've got sort of how do you pronounce his name? The young fella that came on. I can't even pronounce his name.
Mengi.
Sorry?
Not Mengi. I know Mengi. Short.
Oh, sure, Now, to be fair to you, we do an academy review, and I went through about 4 different variations: short tire, and short tire, and short tire, and it's short tire is how you pronounce it. So
short tire. Oh, brilliant! Thank you.
My son loves him.
Yeah. Very good player. Barca were in for him at one point. I know Barca have gone to the dogs now, but it's still Barcelona.
Yeah. One of the biggest club in football. Yeah, so with these sort of youngsters coming through, do these other players now, senior players, have to fear for their position? Because if they go out on against Norwich and put in a poor performance, surely now with Rangnick, he must have seen something in the game against Young Boy to probably say, right, I think you might be on the borderline of being ready, or can you just see it's going to all to do with the senior players still at the club?
I think we have to be realistic here, because whilst we've all been waxing lyrical about the fact that he's given the youngsters a chance and it was great and it was a good feeling and everyone was feeling positive vibes, I'm not going to be naive enough to think that because you put in a decent cameo against a team that's 4th in the Swiss league, he's going to start playing you in the Premier League. I don't see that happening. I genuinely, and I hope, I wouldn't have a problem if I'm wrong, but I genuinely don't think the likes of Shoretire and Iqbal and Savage and even Mengi or them lads are going to get much of a shot in the Premier League. They might get a little cameo now and again. But I think for me, the big sort of question here is some of these senior players. Like, he spoke about Luke Shaw after the game against Young Boys, and he said something along the lines, in fact, I'll bring up the quote. He said, it was good to see Luke Shaw back. Hopefully it can at least be a candidate for the Norwich game in the squad. Now, 2 months ago, if you'd have said to me that Alex Telles is number 1 choice at left back, I'd have said you were crazy. Luke Shaw just scored a goal in the Euros final. He was being raved about as Shawberto Carlos and all this other stuff. Talks about as one of the best left backs in the Premier League, certainly, if not Europe or the world. But he's having an awful season. And Alex Telles has come in and he's done exactly what the manager's asked him to do. You can't fault him. Now, I had question marks about Alex Telles in the Premier League, but he played very, very well against Arsenal. He played very well against Crystal Palace. And he put his Villarreal performance. I know he got a goal against Villarreal, but I thought defensively he was all over the gaff behind him. And I think it's those players. Wan-Bissaka picked up an injury, so I don't know how fit he is. He's probably not going to be fit anyway. But even if he was fit, I think Delow's probably that right back spot as well. So you've got these fullbacks in particular who all of a sudden going, 2 months ago, it was nailed on that it was Wan-Bissaka and Shaw. Now, Telles and Delow could argue that they're the first choice under Ralph Rangnick. Then moving forward, further up the pitch, you've got, if he plays his 4-2-2-2, there's only limited numbers up front. If he's playing that system, then you can't have Ronnie, Cavani if he's fit, Marcus, Sancho, Bruno. Someone's got to miss out. So it's the senior players who've been sort of favourites under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. 1 or 2 might be looking at it going, am I going to get in the team here? Am I guaranteed a spot? So that's the more interesting thing for me, because I think the first sort of Arsenal game was a couple of injuries and a couple of players that he had to shuffle with. But now when he's getting his full team back, it'll be interesting to see how he mixes it up, because I think there's certain players that weren't getting a look in on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer that for Ralph Rangnick could start every game.
Yeah, and sorry, on Monday the same thing with these players. Obviously, we talk quite a lot about who sort of like would get in the team, who wouldn't. And again, like what Jay said, we've been raving about sort of like Luke Shaw-Dino. But this season, it seems almost like he's not been the same player since last season. What's probably going on with him there? What do you think is going on?
Look, I think maybe it's a bit of a hangover from the Euros. They played a lot of football. And see, there's a few players who played in Euros, got to the final, who aren't really performing on top level just yet. So maybe he does need a break. And it's good to have that balance of the squad where Telles can finally get his chance, have a fair, clean slate. When it was under Ollie always preferred his guys, wouldn't really rotate that much. And now we're seeing a bit of more rotation and some quality players. We're seeing the quality of the players that we had, who no one really knew about or weren't really sort of given, demonstrating how good they were, like Telles, for example. He's perfect for this role. I mean, the fullbacks are really key in this sort of system. And when, as Mr. B was saying earlier, when they do cross, there's always two strikers in the box and a backup two guys coming in to finish up the dinner. You know, it's very, very good system for us. You know, I was just looking at Norwich the other day. They've obviously, I think they've changed their style. He's trying to work around their system, what's best for them. They've got Todd Campbell out for a bit, so they played a 5 and a 3 narrow in midfield, and then 2 up front. And I'm thinking to myself, well, everyone's looking at Man United right now. How do you counter them? What we saw the other day, this young boys team were intercepting the passes from the midfield and then breaking. So it'd be like 3-on-3 a couple of times. And then a couple of times they were in on goal or one pass. Thankfully, the keeper was sweeping up. So there is hope for managers to like Dean Smith. He's probably looking on and saying, okay, right, if we press them high up the pitch or as soon as they try to make that pass and intercept them, then we can get like a 2-on-2 or 3-on-3, something like that. So for the opposition, there is a light at the end of the tunnel, how to break us. But hopefully they will play narrow, and that will give our fullbacks more width, and we can utilize them a lot more, which is really key. And I do feel sorry for Wan-Bissaka. I know he had a little of an accident at the end of the game there. Fell into the boardings. He's got a few injuries from that apparently. But Dalot is looking like really promising, like high up the pitch and with his ability and his knowledge of playing like for AC Milan last season. Not many people saw him play up there, but he was delivering. He's wanted. It's sort of like a secret. When you got, I was a few years ago, I was looking at him, Trent, and Cancelo, and all these guys. Looking at them, these are the next generation of great fullbacks. But he hasn't had his opportunity, and it's only now he's getting it under a manager who knows how to utilize it. So that balance of the fullbacks that we have and causing that width and everything else is causing opposition teams a nightmare. How do you shut them down, and how do you set up? I think if I was a Norwich manager, I'd play a 4 and a 4 or a 4 and a 5 and just one up front. That way you can sort of like double up on them and stop that width and keep it tight, because we've got like two number 10s in between the lines, in between their defense and the midfield, picking up areas there, which is really dangerous. So their defenders like, right, I can't leave these two strikers here like Ronaldo and Rashford. Midfielders, what's his name, the guy from Chelsea, drop back, pick him up. And it's just going to cause havoc. And this is what's happening. This is what happened to Crystal Palace. They got camped right back deep into their half until they couldn't find a way to sort of cope with it over and over again. So I'm really interested. I'm interested to see how Norwich set up against us and going forward, how other teams set up against us, because they've had about 2 or 3 weeks, like us, to assess how we play and the kind of system we play and how effective we are. But like I say, there was a light at the end of the tunnel. We saw the interceptions with young boys, them cutting out the passes. Because we have to get out our feet quickly and pop it in, and obviously it's going to take a few weeks. And we saw that Donny van der Beek and Mata, they weren't really up to speed with that kind of thing. So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah. Mr. B?
I'm just looking for a demolition job. I'm going to keep it short and sweet. Right now, I said, this is me. I've got this, we're going to batter everybody head on. And I really do believe that Norwich, and I understand they've got a new manager, they're going through that new manager bounce, but let's be honest, man for man right now, there's nobody that Norwich have that will take anybody's place in the Man United team or the bench. So I'm not going to have him fuff it. I'm expecting a demolition job on Saturday.
Yep. So, to be honest with you, I'm not looking for a demolition job, but I'm just looking for a comfortable 3-1 win as always. Just a 3-1 win. So, guys, I know we went on probably over time for a lot of things, but I'm going to get some crazy in here. So, Jay, you ready for it? Yeah?
Go on. Here we go.
Some crazy.
Let's have a drum roll for this. Hey.
So, guys, this here, what I've done at the moment, I've gone to a 4-3-3, but this 4-3-3 can revert into a 4-2-2-2 4-2-2-2. What do you guys think about that formation? Let's start off with, let's go Jay. Go on, Jay, because you've been at the game and everything. You've been closely watching everything since Rangnick's been in charge.
I don't see him changing from his 4-2-2-2. I'll be honest with you. That seems to be his formation. And it's worked. I know we've only had one game in the Premier League with it, but it worked well. So I don't know if he will change that. I mean, you could still have that team, and it could still play as a 4-2-2-2. I think if you drop Sancho deeper, push Bruno up from that 3, and have the 2 as McTominay and Fred, and then Bruno and Sancho and Ronaldo and Rashford, I think that 11 could happen. I think Wan-Bissaka, we saw get stretched off, starting him 4 days later or 3 days later is a madness. I'm not going to lie to you. I think that would be very, very surprising if he was fit for this game. And also, I think Dalot, who didn't play against Young Boys, who did play well against Crystal Palace, I think he'll be in the team. That's the big one I would sort of be surprised to see. I mean, I don't know what the situation is with Wan-Bissaka. I doubt very much he's match fit because, you know, if you get stretched off, you're usually in a lot of trouble. And also, even if he is fit, even if he's recovered from that injury, is he ready to play another game now, to start another game, having just played on a Wednesday night, having missed a few games as well recently? And as OMONDI pointed out, Dalot has been sort of living up to some of the potential we saw a few years ago recently. I just don't see that one happening, I'll be honest with you. But I think other than that, I think that 11 or 10 of that 11 kind of makes sense. I think that, you know, it's an ifs and buts in it. It's like, would he risk Greenwood again? Or, you know, could he throw him again? He played well the other night, but would he? Probably not. So I expect Rashford and Ronaldo to play. I expect Sancho to play. I expect Fred definitely and Bruno. So yeah, I think you've gone with a pretty sensible team there. You've let me down a little bit. There's not too many holes to pick in it, to be honest with you. I was expecting to see Eric Cantona up front. You know what I mean? Brian Robson in midfield or something. But you've been pretty conservative there. I'm impressed. I hope this isn't a new solo.
Oh, it is a new solo. It has to be a new solo because every single week since we've been doing this on Monday of the week, I've been tagged every week with my team selection. I even have people in the comment telling me if I'm from outer space, so I need to be a bit more conservative. So on Monday, anything you nitpick from here?
Yeah, first of all, the formation, but I think obviously in and out of possession is different. You do see them change up. I noticed during midweek, Elanga was dropping off where Rashford is and sort of coming a lot deeper than that, those sort of positions, you know. So it can change. I don't know the complete philosophy of Rangnick, or Rangnick, whatever his name is. Rangnick. But I would say Dalot has to come in due to the injury, not just due to the injury, but I think he's better suited and he needs that confidence now. You can't just drag a man out and after he's played really well. Lindelof, yeah, I agree with that. Tellers, yeah. I would go Donny van der Beek. I thought Donny played really well. And I do, when you think about this, guys, I think you need ball players in there. And it doesn't mean you need runners or tacklers in those two deeper line midfielder positions. He showed with Mata and Donny, he had two ball players in there to see, right, get out your feet and pop into feet, that kind of thing. And that's the kind of thing where Fred and McTominay don't really have that ability. So I'm hoping and praying that Rangnick is looking to bring ball players in that position. And Donny is perfect. That's why I think he put him in there. And I thought Donny was man of the match, despite people saying, oh, he had made a mistake for the goal. I don't think he did. He got out his feet. He's asked what the manager's asked of him, got out his feet, looked up and passed it to Wan-Bissaka, who wasn't on it and just didn't expect it because he doesn't want the ball in those sort of areas. He's not that comfortable. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I like the idea of having a ball player in there, not just Fred and McTominay, who we look at as, oh, these guys are deep line midfielders or tacklers or tracking people, that kind of thing. Because with that position, they're static. Once we're pumped in their half, they stay in their position. So Donny's in that position or Pogba in that position, picking up the ball, pitching it, recycling the ball like that, and then popping it into feet, direct and fast. They have more talent in that respect than Fred and McTominay. So I'd like to see Donny in the side. Otherwise, you get the thumbs up from me, Errol.
Mr. B, come on. You normally laugh at me, and you're probably the one that pulled the team apart every week.
No, I'm not. I won't pull it away this week. Wan-Bissaka's definitely not playing, so Tellez is in. But I'll be apart from that. McTominay, Van der Beek's not going to start over McTominay. I think there's a pecking order at the moment, and I think that McTominay is ahead of Van der Beek in that order. Will it stay like that? Let's hope not. But apart from, it's only one change. Only one change. Well done. Well done, Solo. You did good this week. You did good this week.
Pat in the back. A good question from Mehdi there. I haven't really and truly done any research regarding sort of when Pogba and Cavani will be back in. Anyone got any information?
So I did a report earlier this week saying that they're back in training. Varane and Cavani are back in training now.
Okay. Yep. So I was going to put one more up. Form guide. Is there a point doing the form guide?
We're going to win.
Man. We started winning football matches.
Exactly.
Put it up when we lose 5-0 to the Scousers and lose to City. You know what I mean? I want to see the form guide when we've been winning.
Improvement. Come on.
Hold on 1 second.
Here we are. Where are we? Look at that.
We were bottom a couple of weeks ago.
We
were in the relegation first turn.
Yeah. Relegation now to Premier League title contenders.
Look at that. Back to back.
Norwich, wow.
Yeah.
Where were Norwich on there?
8. Six.
Terrible buzz.
Yeah. So 1-2 drawn 2 and lost 1 since Dean Smith's been there.
Not bad.
Nah, the last win, the first win out of that was Daniel Farke.
Oh yes, that was it the 3-1?
He won his last game, and then Dean Smith came in. Yeah,
See?
and then I think he was already on his way out. To be fair, but I mean, the last 5 games, he doesn't tell you the full story, because if you look at that, it's the last 2 in it that Rangnick's come in properly for the last one, and obviously the one before Michael Carrow was there, but we've been much better performance-wise in those last 2 games and in the Champions League. I know it was the kids, but you can see what's happening. You can see what we're doing. So I'm not too overly concerned the fact that Norwich are in there, because they won a couple of games and then they've taken 2 points from the last 3, which is more or less reverting back to type for them.
Yeah. Again, on Monday, form guide, we always look at it and we always sort of put a nose up against it, because obviously it's game by game, isn't it, really?
Well, I'm judging form from the day Rangnick came in and started managing the club. That's, I think we have to look at it now, because prior to that, even with Carrick, I can't really take this. It's a different philosophy, different manager. I like the Rangnick effect. I don't know what, I can't remember what Jay said, the 3 R's, the Rangnick Revolution. That's it. Yeah, the Rangnick Revolution. Yeah, I like that. I was going to try
Rangnick Revolution. Yeah, man.
Yes, that's the one. So I like all that, and I think we need to judge it from that and see. I would like to see a performance table, form guide from the day he came in to the end of the season, because I think we're on the up, and I think we can't be beaten at the moment, like Mr. B was saying. I know it sounds boastful, but we are looking like we want to walk over teams. And the thing is, we're creating chances. Remember when Fergie used to be at the side? We always had people in the box, and with the same system, we always have numbers in the box. And we're going to finish, Look at Greenwood's finish the other day. I mean, and I was saying he's just a shooter. He's not a finisher, but now he's demonstrating he can do that. So, yeah, I'm really pleased about the way we're heading. I think that we are going to score a lot of goals. We're getting you talked about the Ahmad chance the other day. He was almost 1-on-1 with the defender. Do you understand what I'm saying? And we're getting a lot of openings like that. High up the pitch when we sort of pinch the ball and breaking on them. So it's looking promising, and I think we're going to beat a team quite heavily in the next coming weeks.
Mr. B?
I was talking about Norwich's manager bounce. There ain't no bounce on that list. It's 1 win, 2 draws, and a loss, which means they've got worse. We're taking the points. I don't see. I'm so confident. I am so confident about the game.
Oh, brilliant.
Straight 3 points.
Straight 3 points. Mr. B is just straight talking today. He's not even holding back. He's just straight 3 points. Straight 3. That's it. Whatever Mr. B say, guys, everyone who's watching, It's 3 points. And what's the score? Well, we'll go into the score, guys. Make sure you hit your score prediction in as well, please, when you get the chance to. So on Monday, we're just going to go through a few more comments.
Okay.
I've got to be very careful here tonight because I don't want to get pinned up. That's the problem.
Okay, so I haven't been following, but there's a lot
Clips
of comments
up,
here.
you mean?
Same thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, here's one from sorry. I said he was at the game, but he actually lives in Los Angeles, living there now, so not at this game, but still got my season ticket and attend at least 10 games a season. Big up.
Big
my
up.
dad goes to most games.
Dedication.
Wow.
Dedication. That fair play to
Big
you,
time.
Alex. Well done, bro.
So would people like that fly straight into Manchester Airport? Is that straight from LA? Can imagine. Wow, that's brilliant, man.
That's brilliant.
I know a lot of people come from Scandinavia. When we went to the Liverpool game, there's a lot of people from Scandinavia there.
Yeah,
wasn't
man.
there? So let's go for some more comments. Any football related comments here, guys? Just running through.
There was a shout out from there, Mark Edmond from Australia, man. Watching from Australia.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Big up, Mark. Thank you for tuning in to the channel.
Here we go. Shai said on MUTV that people should just call him Shola. Okay, that's easier for me as well. And
man, if that's what he wants, that's what he should do.
So Shola. I like that. And what's his position? Can I ask you, Jay? Where would Shola play in this 4-2-2-2? A striker or the tens behind?
That's a really good question, that, because like he seems to be like one of those players that could play sort of in and around anywhere around the front. I think he has been like someone who's played off the striker in the past, but he can drift out wide. He's very quick. He's very skillful. So I think it depends on who your front two are. If you had, say, maybe you had a Ronaldo, and you had him running off him, that could kind of work. Yeah. Or maybe if you had, say you went with your older two, Ronaldo and Cavani up front, and you wanted to play him almost like a 10, you could probably get away with that. But I think just off a striker is probably his best position. But he's a very talented young lad. I think this season is probably a season too soon for him to play a lot of games. I think next season we might see more of him. But, if you're a young lad, you guys were all pointing out before, if you're in Elanga or you're Shoretire and you're looking at it and you're going, you've got Cavani who's 34, you've got Ronaldo who's 36. These guys aren't going to be around for the next 5 years. Do you know what I mean? They're not. So there's going to be opportunities there. So you can take the chances that you're given at United. If you can show what you're about, then there's every sort of reason to believe in the next few years you can be a player for Manchester United. You look at Marcus Rashford is a good example. Anthony Martial gets injured in the warm-up. Will Keane gets injured the week before. Marcus gets a chance against Midtjylland, gets a brace, scores a brace against Arsenal, his debut in Premier League, scores a winner at the Etihad, and the rest is history. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you take those chances, Manchester United as a club that will show faith in you. So, yeah, I think that it's looking good for these lads. As you all said, there's every chance to think some of these lads can make it. I think we've got a real strong sort of batch of youngsters at the club at the minute.
Just one more thing. Do you think like some of these players who are traditionally wingers, do you think they have to be retrained into playing sort of as number 10s or inside things?
I think you guys probably know a bit more about this than I do, but I mean, you can correct me if you think I'm wrong. I believe that the winger is dying out. I do. I think now as a winger, when I was a kid, you had wingers. You had Kinchelskis, you had Ryan Giggs, you had players that just did not, I know it's an old saying, but got chalk on their boots. They got chalk on the boots. They just were down that wing, and their job was to get down that wing and get the ball into your Mark Hughes, your Eric Cantona's, your Andy Coles, your Dwight Yorks. Now you look at Marcus Rashford, when he gets that ball at his feet, he ain't getting any going down the wing. He's cutting inside. He's trying to cut inside. Ronaldo was probably the biggest one to start all that. Now I think you have more inverted wingers than you have wingers. Wingers are almost a dying breed. I don't see a lot of out wingers. If you play Mason Greenwood on that left, is he a winger? No. He's or on the right, sorry. Is Mo Salah a winger? I hate when I see people comparing Mo Salah's stats to Ryan Giggs. Mo Salah's not a winger. Mo Salah's not going down the wing trying to cross the ball in. That's the last thing on Mo Salah's mind. He's trying to cut inside and get his shot off, and he does it very well, to be fair. It pains me to say it. He's a scouser, but he does. So I get the idea that almost any player in that mold now is almost being trained and sort of steered towards inverted wingers, if you like you know, like the inside forward, as they used to call them back in the day.
Yeah.
I just think the wingers are a dying breed. I think they're very, very rare. I think more often than not, what you've got is wing backs. You've got your Tellers, your Trents. Though I know Trent plays as a fullback, but he's a wing back, innit? Where they're not wingers, they're not fullbacks, they're sort of wing backs. I think that's what you're going to get more of. So I think players like Shoretire, like Alanga, for example, another one, can play out wide. But again, is he a winger? No. He's a guy who plays just off the striker, perhaps. So I think,
Bruv,
that's what's
I totally agree with you. Totally agree with what you just said. Yeah, so true.
So, guys, if you're watching, please like, please share, and please subscribe to the United Agenda. So, on Monday, you know what? Let's go to Mr. B first, because we know what on Monday is all about. Mr. B, score prediction, please. And, guys, throw your score prediction in.
5-1.
Yep, okay. On Monday, you've only had, since you've been on the show, you only had one of your wishes been granted. And what's the score?
And mind you, that was under Ralph, and I was pleased about that. Yeah, I think it's a Premiership. You cannot underestimate the Premiership. Yeah, I can't underestimate any team in there. They will be doing their data analysis and doing all their work behind closed doors to find their way to stop us. And there's not much there, but we'll see. I think I'd like to see a 1-0. Main thing is the 3 points. I know. I'd like to see a 1-0 and dominate the game as we did. As he wants, he said, control and keep the ball far away from the keeper as you can. And if we can play in their half and put them on the back foot, they'll be too tired. And Pookie?
Pookie.
Yeah. Can you imagine him like going 1-on-1 with Lindelof or Harry? I think Harry Maguire would beat him in a race. That's how. So stay high up the pitch, camp them in their half, and don't let them out. 1-0.
Okay. And let's go, Jay.
I was gonna say 2-0, but I'm scared, man. The way that Mr. B's looking at us when we're not going for it, like you can see the fume, like we've let him down. He's like scowling and like, how dare you think United won't batter this Norwich team? So all right, just because I don't want any anger from Mr. B, I'll go 4-0.
Oh wow! And as always,
you know what I'm gonna predict though? I'm gonna predict this. I'm going to predict another Fred goal. I'm going to predict he gets another one. He's third of the season. I think he's going to get back-to-back Premier League goals. There you go. There's my prediction.
You're staying on side with Solo.
Mr. B and Monday can put some respect on his name then.
I think it's going to take him about 400 goals for that to happen. I ain't going to lie to you. I think he needs Ronaldo numbers for that before that happens.
Yeah, as always, 3-1 for me. My score prediction always a 3-1.
What's this? 3-1 every week. Who is this?
It will work. It will come. It will come. It will come. 3-1. Yeah. We always concede goals until Rangnick get his sort of like ideas behind. I'm going to predict 3-1. I'll give it till probably end of January, and then I'll change my prediction. I'll change it then. Mr. B is going to be upset anyway, because Mr. B, when the 3-1 come in, Mr. B is going to go, I always predict 3-1 as well. But today I'm going for a battering. So guys, if you're watching the content, please like, please share, please subscribe, and remember, thanks to every single person who has joined and have been so supportive to the channel. We have officially now hit the 1K subscribers. So thank you all. Thank you all for every single person who has contributed week in, week out, and watch my madness on here. On Mondays, always picking his best team. Up like Man United and about 10 other teams is his best team. And Mr. B giving a straight up one-word answer. So guys, it has been absolutely a pleasure. And continue to support us, watch us, and fingers crossed we can build and grow the channel and get everyone involved with the Man United agenda. And also, we got to say a big thanks to Jay for coming on, taking his time out each and every week to come and see us and help us with our madness as well.
Yeah,
I love it, man. It's always a good laugh on this channel. It's a good laugh. It's a great mix. I'm glad you got over 1,000 subscribers. You deserve a lot more. And I think it's a great mix of having a laugh and some good analysis. You guys, you know what you're talking about. And I always enjoy coming on here. And I'm just a little bit disappointed, right, on Monday. Sorry, Solo. I think this 1,000 subscriber. I know, I'm sorry. Yeah, there's a word for that, isn't there? Yeah, like, there's like, Solo seems to be playing it a little bit safe recently with his team selection isn't crazy. He stopped talking about cabinets and stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm a bit worried. Like, don't worry about the 1,000 subs. Just be yourself. Just let the
I
madness
will.
flow. It's so good.
I will. Don't worry. I'll be back on probably either the preview or the watch or something, and I'll be crazy next week. It's okay. We've got it. The worst part about it, Jay, is when I have to go on Mr. B's show and they have to do these clip ups, and it's painful watching because Mr. B will be egging everyone to vote for me.
Yeah, but you do your job yourself. I don't have to egg anybody to do anything, boy.
That's to be fair, yeah. I don't think they need much egging. The amount of material you give them. It's just like it's an easy vote, that, innit? Come on. You know?
And you know the worst part about it, Jay, is this guy here. He doesn't let anything go. Rebel. He's been absolute sensation to the channel since he's joined us, and he doesn't let anything go. He doesn't let anything go. He watches us, and he'll be like, "Yep, I've got it. Yep, that's it.
This is it, man. This is what I like to see." Do you know what I mean?
I just want to say to everyone, thank you so much. We can't do this without all the subscribers, all the people that come in and comment as well. It really lifts us up when we get good feedback and even the bad feedback as well, because it makes us better. And Jay, I have to say as well, big up, man. Enough respect to you, bruv. Honestly, you do it as a volunteer. You try and help us and raise us up. And we're really grateful for all your support.
You don't have to family, you know. As I say this every time, come on, I'm lucky enough to be able to choose things that I do now, and I love coming on here. I enjoy it. I do. It's always educational. Do you know what I mean? I learn new words from Solo. I learn new formations from Solo. I learn new phrases from Solo. It's like, you know, it's like doing a degree. Honestly, coming on here, you get a real education on this channel.
Oh, absolutely brilliant. And you know, the thing is, every time we on here, it's always a belly laugh. We always have that sort of, you know, we're keeping it to who we are. We're not saying we're professional or anything like that, but we've got to keep it who we are and our personality on here as well. You know, we have conference, like we call it conference call, literally every day, technically, and just to get ideas, brainstorm things, and try to see the improvement, but don't lose ourselves at the same time. But guys, without you guys in the comments, really, like, you know, we really appreciate the hard work, the effort you put in to come on, take your time out of a day just to watch our stream. Jay, I would always say, where can we find you? Because we always have to say, where can we find you? Because some of these guys probably are people who subscribe to us and they don't know about what you do. So, and we also got a few new people in the comments today. Of course they know.
Listen,
Jay, take it away.
Listen, you know where to find me. Like, I'm on Stretford Paddock. But don't worry about that. If you've come over from Stretford Paddock, I always put a thing in the community post. Subscribe to this channel. Trust me, right? These guys, it's a top laugh. They're chatting a lot of sense. They're always open to debate as well. You know, Amondi just said it there. He said, you know, even the negative comments we take on board and we learn from that. And I think, you know, I don't do that. We delete them. I'm only joking. We don't. But no, they do, man. They love, you know, they're always interacting with everyone. Everyone they give a shout out to, comments. I love all that. I love the enthusiasm these guys have. They're dedicated, traveling around as well. I seen them at Old Trafford there, traveling up for the game not so long ago, you know, putting in the effort as well, putting in the mileage. So yeah, make sure you give these guys a lot of support because, you know, it's great to see the 1,000 subscribers. Someone, Mark Edmonds says, I can't turn the internet on and not see bloody Jay Motti. He's right. You know what? You know, I get. I went shopping before, right? I always get brought back down to earth, mate. And there's a kid in the shop, and he came over, and he was chatting to me. He's like, "Oh, what did you think of the game?" I was like, "Oh yeah." I thought he was saying about Greenwood. I thought Greenwood took his goal well. I love Mason Greenwood. And he's like, "Oh, thank you." And he walked off, and he went to his mate. He went, "Hey, I've just been chatting to Jay Motti." And you know, you're thinking, "Oh yeah." And his mate went, "I don't even know who that is." I was like,
Accrington Stanley.
There you go. Some people get 15 minutes. I got like 15 seconds of fame. There you go. That down to earth. Ego out the door. There you go.
Oh, you know absolute quality.
Before I get a big head sorted.
Yeah, but yeah, like I said, big up to everyone. And as I said, for me as well, we've got a team behind us, and every single person through the high, the low. We've come together and basically we've got the number 1K now. So all we got to do now is progress and move on with the content and just keep coming each and every week. So guys,
2K, that's the new
2K.
target, man. Set
2K.
that target because you're going to hit it. You'll hit
Let's
it sooner than you think. 2K.
Brilliant, thank you. But guys, we are going to do tomorrow we will give you the information. So if you are tuned in, we will give you the information of when we're going to be doing the live draw next week. And remember, we will be going with tomorrow night we've got Mr. B Takeaway. If you have not seen that yet, Friday Night Takeaway, please tune in. That's comedy if you want to see it. Absolute comedy. Where you get to vote for myself on Monday or Talk MU
or Mr. B.
Or Mr. B. Yes.
No,
Mr. B's on it as well. Mr. B's all silent. No, you're on it tomorrow. You're on it. You're on it.
I keep telling you, man, I am the show editor. There ain't no clip of me being shown tomorrow. Trust me, yeah? There's no clip of me. I haven't even seen the clip that you are talking about.
We have to put it on Twitter then, Solo.
Oh, yes, I'll put it on Twitter for it to be voted for.
Jesus, man, what are you not doing to me?
So, thanks, Mark. Appreciate that comment as well. So, guys, tune in for that at 10 p.m. tomorrow night. And then what we'll then do is on Saturday at 5 o'clock, you tune in to Talk. We'll be doing a watch along with Mr. B. And then we got the reaction show afterwards as well, guys. So please make sure you are sharing, liking, and also set the reminder on the YouTube channel as well for when we go live. The notification bell will come up as well, guys. So we really appreciate all the support, and from us at the Man United Agenda, and from Jay, and from every single one of you in the comment, and everyone who has subscribed to the Man United Agenda. It's all about appreciation and love, and we will see you later on. So from us, good night.
Bye.